Now to the global protest that is underway right now. Students and workers all around the world are flooding the streets demanding action on climate change.
So just to demonstrate our people power, I'm going to lead you through a chant, and I think you guys might know it. When I say, show me what democracy looks like, you say, this is what democracy looks like. Because this is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
I can't hear you guys. Sorry, I really can't. Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Amazing.
The snake oil salesmen / prophets of climate change doom have successfully gotten into the heads of the kids you're about to see to such an extent that there's a whole new generation of slaves begging their carbon-emitting political overlords to please do something, anything, and take all of our money and wreck our economy while you're at it.
I think this is the most important issue that we need to be talking about.
I've put this video together to show you just how widespread this climate change propaganda has gotten. As you'll hear, these impressionable kids actually buy into AOC's propaganda that we only have 11 years left to do something. The fear-mongering has gotten so intense and the calls for change so concentrated that neither these kids nor the adults who are exploiting them can see that the very government yahoos they're begging to solve the problem are and have been one of the largest classes of gross polluters on the planet that they're trying to save. Yes, there is climate change. The climate changes all the time in different areas, but the largest contributor to climate change is still and always has been the good old sun. The thing to remember, though, is that they used to call it global cooling, that we're going back into the ice age. When that didn't pan out for them, the snake oil salesman left town only to return with a new concoction, global warming. When the facts didn't support that wild claim, they left town again. This time upon return, they'd sharpen their deceptive sales pitch. Now we have climate change. Climate change brought on by human beings who are trashing the planet with their massive and lumbering carbon footprints. So how do the snake oil salesmen, those prophets of doom, the conspiracy theorists of climate change, propose that we solve the human endangering realities of climate change? Why, to shovel out more money into the already grotesque and murderous monster known as government. Why? So that government can make more laws that will strip away the rights of more individuals, while those very same government agents further trash the planet with the newfound wealth that their snake oil helped to rake in from the masses. Here's how passionate these kids are about climate change. Here's how hoodwinked a new generation has become through the incessant propaganda of the social engineers who do more to destroy the planet than you can possibly imagine.
Here is more today from the extraordinary 16-year-old Greta Thunberg.
This is an emergency. Our house is on fire. Why should we study for a future that is being taken away from us? That is being stolen for profit.
Michael, we're here with thousands of protesters right underneath Parliament, and what's so striking, besides just the sheer size of protesters here, are the age of people who are demonstrating. Almost all of them are students. This group behind me, just 9 years old. We spoke to a group of 17-year-olds who said they're here today to fight for their future.
Climate justice!
Across America,
we have to change the world.
And around the world,
When do you want it? Now!
millions walked out of classrooms today demanding action on the climate.
Climate change is real.
All following the lead of a shy Swedish teenager.
We will do everything in our power to stop this crisis from getting worse.
16-year-old Greta Thunberg.
And some people say we should study to become climate scientists or politicians so that we can, in the future, solve the climate crisis. But by then it will be too late. We need to do this now.
Keep in mind what's going on here. Just like gun control, these kids are being exploited and pushed out into the spotlight in order to get adults to abandon reason and act on emotion. This is the Hegelian dialectic in action. Problem, reaction, solution. It's the, oh my God, we gotta do something mantra. And isn't it interesting that the something we must always do is to beg psychopathic spendthrift politicians to take more of our money? Money they always waste on, well, let's face it, bullshit. The something we always gotta do is give away more of our rights, an action that always leads to the deaths of more people than so-called climate change will ever claim.
This is a fight for our lives, for our security, for all future generations to come. They want us to just sit quiet? They want us to just sit in school and learn about a future that may not exist? We are here because our generations past have put us in an unstable place. And you know what? I'm sick of hearing about their actions. I'm sick of their apologies. I'm sick of their shame. And I'm sick of the future that they put on us. And it's blue. I'm sick of it, and so are all of you. And we are not here to talk about our sacrifices and our doom and gloom and not existing. We are here to create. We are creating this movement every day because every day of inaction drives more action from us!
I bet most of these kids don't even know that the leading cause of death in the last 100 years is not climate change. It's not natural disasters. It's not plague or famine. The thing that has claimed more human life in the last 100 years is government. The kind of government that social engineers have these kids trying to convince us will solve the problem.
Joining our discussion now is Varshini Prakash. She's the co-founder and executive director of the Sunrise Movement, a group of young environmental activists, a group that joined Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Senator Ed Markey to launch the Green New Deal earlier this year. What was it like out there today?
It was undescribable. There were just throngs of people. I was in a crowd of 250,000 people of predominantly middle school children, high schoolers, 20-somethings. It was both exhilarating and heartbreaking at once when you think that all these children are asking for is a shot at a livable future.
Now, the goal of this strike, and really all these strikes around the world, is to send a clear message to world leaders ahead of the UN Climate Summit happening this week in New York. And one of their many demands is to say they want to phase out all fossil fuels by 2030 and replace them with renewable energy.
I mean, you know, in the imagery that I saw, Greta is sort of the median age. There were so many elementary school kids younger than her, 10 years younger than her, so many older college kids, and it was just an extraordinary group of people to see.
I met her in England before she sailed to New York.
I am vegan and I have stopped flying.
All for the planet. She started a movement when she stopped going to school on Fridays.
Our house is on fire, and we should get angry.
Her blunt talks going viral, her image on magazines worldwide.
Hi, my name is Rosie Clemens-Cope. I'm 11 years old. We are here because our parents trashed the planet, and it's up to our generation to save it. Greta inspired me to lead walkouts at my elementary school all last spring. Because storms, floods, fires, and droughts fueled by climate change are killing people all over the globe. Our oceans are choking with trash, and the 6th mass extinction is well underway. And the government does nothing. Our schools don't teach us, and our parents are silent. But scientists say we only have 11 years left to avoid a climate catastrophe. We need to have 0 carbon emissions by 2030. when I'm 21. So I'm asking you to do 3 things. First, start Friday for the Future at your school. It's more than a walkout, though. It's a teach-in. Because what you say to your friends might be the only thing that they know about climate change. Second, climate activists need to support other social movements too. Because any fight for justice is your fight too. So when kids rally for gun safety or for LGBTQ+ rights, or when teachers ask for livable wages, get your butt out there and support them. And they will support you too. It's called solidarity. Third, the November 2020 election is coming and we need to clean out the trash. Find a candidate who is good on climate change, doesn't take oil money, and canvass for them door to door. And make sure your older siblings vote. Whose side are they on anyways? If you fight for the children by teaching them about climate change and about solidarity, if you fight for the children by demanding that politicians get us to 0 carbon emissions by 2030, if you fight for the children by getting involved in our fight to have a future, we will save the world. Are you in?
It's easily demonstrated that one of, if not the major factor in this so-called climate change is the tampering with the weather by weather modification government entities. I've gone over plenty of that information on this channel and channels like Mike Morales, Marfugal, Dutch Sense, and plenty of other channels deal with this all the time.
Why do you think your voice resonates?
When a child says that you are stealing my future, then people feel very guilty. They listen in a way that maybe they hadn't done before.
Hello, hello, hello. So we wanted to both make an announcement on behalf of 0 Hour, International Indigenous Youth Council, Sunrise, U.S. Youth Climate Strike, and the National Children's Campaign, on behalf of those organizations.
We hear that politicians, that baby boomers, all these people call us Generation Z, the last letter of the alphabet, because we are going to be the last generation to survive. But no, we refuse to take that. We refuse to be the last generation. We are not Generation Z. We are Generation GND, Generation Green New Deal. We refuse to be the last livable planet. Oh shoot, give me a sec. Fuck. We refuse to be the last generation to thrive. We are gonna give it to the generations to come. Oh gosh, I'm done. Passing it on. Thank you guys, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
Now, another name that we've been hearing time and time again here in London this afternoon is they're talking about Greta Thunberg, that famous Swedish activist at just 16 years old has already become the face of this movement. She famously stepped out of class last year in Sweden for the first kind of solo climate strike, and now look at what her movement has become. We don't know exact numbers yet, guys, but it's looking like this could be the largest climate protest in our planet's history.
I was never a normal teenager.
Bullied at school and diagnosed with Asperger's when she was 11. She sees the climate crisis in black and white, with 1 million species now threatened with extinction.
The reason why we are seeing this outpouring of support, not just in New York City, but from Mumbai to Berlin to South Bend, Indiana, is because young people are fed up with the political establishment that appears to be asleep at the wheel when the planet is on fire.
We need to understand the scale of what is happening, and then we need to tackle that crisis.
Greta and her millions of followers want more than just the world's attention. They want action.
We are fed up with seeing our politicians pad their pockets with big oil dollars when our very futurists feel like they're on the line.
It seems like the key word in this is global. And we've known this forever now. The environmental issues like climate, the temperature of the Earth knows no boundary. So the activism within one country is not enough. This was clear today.
Leave your thoughts about climate change and this climate strike for the world and the Google Thought Police in the comments section below. And before you go, check out our new shirt designs in the shirt store. Here's the Beta Hates America design. Hell no, you're not taking my AR-15. And nobody needs an AR-15. Well, nobody needs a whiny little bitch either. And yet, here you are. And against all enemies, Democrat and Republican. There are over 90 other kick-ass designs in the store and the link's in the description. Your purchase supports the message of freedom on this channel. If you get something out of this content, help me beat YouTube's censorship algorithms by liking and sharing this video. And while you're here, why not watch a couple more of my videos? Until next time, stand firm, stay vigilant, and for the sake of all that is right and good, stop giving your rights away to tyrannical psychopaths who want to destroy this country.